welcome back to another video. Actually, welcome to my office. So I decided not to vlog on week 10 because I didn't really learn much that week. I was mostly just fixing some issues that we had. I already knew that going into week 10 that there's not really going to be much to talk about or share about or anything. So I thought it would be more informative to you guys if I shared with you what kind of tools I've been using in the coding bootcamp. We only have 2 weeks left. Wow, I can't believe it's almost over. That's so crazy to me. And I will also show you guys what I keep in my coding backpack. So although I have my sessions every Saturday for about, so it's supposed to be around 6 hours, but we end up always staying much longer than that. Most weeks we stay like an hour to almost 2 hours after, so we're there all day on Saturdays. And then throughout the week I go to a lot of cafes with my backpack, and I would just like be there the whole day or afternoon just working on the project or taking some courses online. And I thought it would be kind of fun to show you guys what's in my backpack. I kind of feel like I'm a student again. I feel like this will be fun for those of you that are more into girly things like me. But before we continue, if you could please do me a huge favor, thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get started. Okay, so here's the list of tools that we've been using for the coding bootcamp. I just used on my MacBook. So the first one is Terminal. Everybody has this application on their MacBook. So all you have to do is search for Terminal and boom, right there. So we are using that to help us host our website just remotely, so we can, you know, see what we are working on. So yeah, we use Terminal for Git as well, so that we can commit our code to our repository. I always have it open on my computer because I literally use it all the time. Every time I make a change in my code, I just commit to the branch that I'm working on. I just keep committing, because the more I commit, especially if I'm working on a special little thing that I decide later on, oh, maybe I don't want it, or I kind of want to go back a few steps back, then it's really easy to do that. So it's great for version control. But if I have a merge conflict, for example, which is when 2 pieces of code are interfering with each other. So it's very useful to use source tree as an interface. Like, let's say, for example, your teammate was working on the same code that you were working on, and then you don't know which one you want to keep. So what's cool is about source tree is you can easily see what has been changed by who, and you can easily delete out what you want to keep. You can delete hunks of code, you can stage hunks. I highly recommend it, especially for people who want to see something that's a little bit more pretty, because Terminal, sometimes, you know, you just want to see what you're doing, but you can't in Terminal. You're literally just typing in commands and hitting enter, and that's pretty much it. But for those of you that actually want to see what you're doing, which is me most of the time, I mean, with simple things such as like committing and pushing and pulling and stuff like that, I don't actually need to see it. But things like resolving merge conflicts, or maybe looking through directories, it's definitely useful to use some sort of GUI that shows all that information for you on a pretty screen. And now, as for my text editor, I am using Sublime. I'm using Sublime because it's simple and you can change it around to however you like. And to be honest, I was just looking up what's the most popular text editors, and that's always up there, especially for Mac users. So I was like, well, might as well. If I don't like it, I'll switch to something else. But now that I'm used to Sublime, I don't really want to go to anything else. I like the way that it works. I just like all the different functionalities, and yeah, it's really customizable. I've already customized mine so that it works nicely with Vue. Which text editors do you guys use? Do you also use Sublime, or do you use something else? If you don't like Sublime, let me know. I'm curious to why maybe you guys don't like it. I personally do, though. And speaking of Vue, some of you guys asked me what framework we are working on. So we are coding this in JavaScript, but we're using Vue.js. I'm not 100% sure why we are using that, because in the beginning I was just told, okay, we're going to be using Vue, and I'm like, okay, don't know what that is, but I'm going to learn all about it now. I'm definitely a beginner when it comes to JavaScript, so I don't have much to say about Vue, because the only different frameworks I've ever worked on is just React, just a little bit of React, and then Vue. So if you code in JavaScript, which is your favorite framework? Because once the coding bootcamp is over, I want to start learning some of the other ones. I want to get more into React. I want to learn more about Angular. I still want to continue learning more about Vue. I also know that Node.js is popular, but I want to know what you have tried in the past or you're currently working on. I'm open for suggestions. And because we are working in a team of people, pretty important that we keep things organized so that way we have some sort of process going. So our official process is being run through Trello. We have a board with different cards, and then we have different sections of what needs to be worked on, what things are currently being worked on, what's done, maybe another card with some resources, like some maybe some images or things we need to know. All that good stuff will be in there, and then you can assign people to cards. You can make a little checklist inside. I use Trello for my own personal goals and to-do lists and all that sort of stuff, but it's definitely very helpful with a group of people. And then when it comes to just communicating in general, we use Slack, basically just a messenger, and you can have group chats on there, and we can share screenshots with each other, links with each other, just quick little messages. Like sometimes I just want to ask someone a quick message, so I'll just shoot them a message to see what's up, or if we have any updates on what's happening, then it'll be written in there. And most developers know what Slack is, so I'm not gonna get too in-depth with that, but maybe for those of you that are still exploring this field, that is just a messenger. That's really all it is. And then we're using Google Sheets to be our database. It's probably not the best option, but for the project that we are working on, it actually is. But we have ran into problems where sometimes people will change values of cells, and then we have had our code break because of that. So that's an example of why maybe it's not the best idea. But because this project is pretty small compared to maybe like a large website, it's not that big of a deal. It's easy fixes, just small little human errors, but on a larger scale that will not work. And we also use Google Drive to put all the images that we will use for the website. Like, some of the, we'll have a lot of images that we have to put on various different pages. And if I need to find the images for that, then the designers just host all that on Google Drive. I just go into the folder and download it. Like, that's just what we use for that. And then as for making mockups, the designers made them on InVision. So we have the desktop mockup and then the mobile mockup, and they basically show exactly how they want it to be. It even has various functionalities, like if you click on it, it'll show exactly what they want you to do. Like maybe when you click on this button, it needs to turn orange or something, or when you scroll, there's a certain thing that needs to stay fixed, like a certain element. So that's when it's really useful. Actually, I really like InVision. If I were to become a web designer, I think I'll have so much fun with it. Once this coding bootcamp is over, I'm definitely going to make some mockups for my new website that I'm actually going to be making. I have a current blog right now. I'm going to do a total revamp of my current blog. It's actually called globalfashiongal.com, but I killed that name like over a year ago. I'm no longer Global Fashion Gal. That's when I used to have a fashion blog. My blog has changed into lots of different things. It has started off as a fashion blog, and then it moved to just like kind of my everyday life, then it went back to a fashion blog, then it turned into a travel blog, and then when I moved to Singapore, it became my life in Singapore blog, but then I was like, oh no, I want to go back to fashion, so that's where Global Fashion Gal came from, because I've had different names. I've also been called City Fashion Girl, so I've had lots of different names for my blog, but I just felt like none of those names or themes are no longer how I am. But I do want to make a computer science related blog, or just anything about programming, but for now that's going to be my own personal blog. Maybe in the future I'll make my own website where I can share blog posts and just share with you guys my journey on how it's like. But if you guys would like to see a little series where you see start to finish on how I am doing the whole relaunch of my blog, I'm going to change the whole look of it, the whole layout. I'm actually going to change to a different blogging platform because I'm currently using Blogger, and Blogger's totally dead. I wish I never even started with them in the first place. That's going to be difficult to kind of transfer everything over. And then I'm going to have a whole new domain, and I still need to brainstorm what my new domain's going to be, because that's the hardest part in my opinion, especially since I'm so indecisive. But let me know if you guys would like to see a little series on that, on like how to code your own blog from scratch. I think that'll be very useful for a lot of bloggers out there that may not be tech savvy savvy but want to learn more about technology, I think that'll be a fun little series for those of you that are interested. Leave a comment down below if you are. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys what is in my backpack. So I love this backpack. This is probably my most favorite backpack I've ever owned because it is black. It is also waterproof, which is great because it rains a lot here and it protects my laptop pretty well actually. And I got it from Michael Kors, and I like how there's two little pockets on each side. I usually keep an umbrella here, but my umbrella is actually hanging up by my door. And then I keep a stainless steel water bottle. So this one I got from an Australian store called Typo. I don't think you can get this in the US, but I will leave a link of everything that you can buy down below. So if you're interested to buy it, it's important to stay hydrated, because don't be like the coders that just survive off of Red Bull and don't take care of their health. It's very important you take care of your health while you're coding. And then I usually keep my laptop in here, but because I'm at my desk right now and I'm gonna edit this video right after I film it, I have my laptop on my desk there. I just have the 13-inch MacBook Pro. A lot of people ask me which computer I use. I just use the 13-inch MacBook Pro. I think it's the best. I can literally test my site on all browsers, which on the Windows or Linux, you can't test it on Safari, and Safari is used by a lot of users. So, but I'm also a Apple fan, so that's the main reason why I have a MacBook. And most developers I know use a MacBook, but I understand if you have a different preference. Alright, so we're gonna go to the front pocket here first. I have a battery pack for my phone, as well as a cable somewhere in here. And then I keep a tea bag because I'm trying to cut back on coffee and drink tea instead. That's a better source of caffeine anyways. And I will leave some of my favorite tea brands that you can buy down below. No, this is not sponsored. Just because I'm talking about tea doesn't mean it's sponsored. But yeah, I'm gonna leave some of my favorite teas down below that you can purchase. And then I have my glasses. If your eye doctor tells you you need glasses while you're on the computer, you better listen to them, because I know that the days that I don't use my glasses on the computer, then I have a really bad headache. So it's important that you use your glasses if needed. But there are special glasses you can buy out there specifically for computer programmers. Actually, my boyfriend has a pair and he looks really funny when he wears them. They're kind of like sunglasses, but for your computer, and that way they put less stress on your eyeballs, and they're kind of like a yellowish orangish tint because that puts less strain on your eyeballs as well. So think about it like on your iPhone, you can select the night function for your screen to be more warm toned instead of cool toned, because that's much better for your eyes. It's also important to keep some healthy vegan snacks. I'll share some of my favorite energy vegan snacks down below. And then lately I've been really into bullet journaling. This is my bullet journal. I have a little plan in here of little things I want to accomplish for the month of November. So I have my calendar here, and I just kind of write down what I am working on and what I want to achieve this month. Like, for example, I want to redo my entire vlog. I want to finish the JavaScript course that I am taking online. I also have a big project that I'm working on that's related to this YouTube channel as well as my Instagram account. I want to post videos weekly on this channel. So, you know, I like to write it all down, and I like to keep it with me at all times, because anytime I have like a video idea or something I want to talk about, I jot it down in here. And also I'm reading this book right now, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F Word. Really good book. I think it's important that you keep books that are either self-help guides or ones about even just programming or business. Those are all really good to read. And when you are coding all day long, it's important to get yourself a nice pair of headphones. So I just have these Sennheiser ones. They don't fit over my bun though. Oh, actually no, they fit like this. Okay, but they're nice because they fold up, but I'm literally listening to music all day long. I have so many Spotify playlists that are honestly just so great for when I'm just hours and hours of coding. So if you want to listen to some of the music that I listen to, I will leave my playlist down below. So if you want to do that, please do. All right, that's all that I keep in my coding backpack, setting myself up for success. Well, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Also, you can best support me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet. Thank you so much for 300 subscribers, by the way. It really means a lot that so many of you are watching my videos. Also, thank you for 2,200 followers on Instagram. By the way, you should follow me on Instagram if you haven't followed me on there yet. Or are you watching this video? Instagram squad, where are you at? Leave a comment down below. All my social media links will be down below if you want to click on that. And I'll see you guys next week in next week's video for week 11. Second to last video until the coding bootcamp is over. But don't worry, I'll still be posting videos once a week. Anyways, once again, I hope you enjoyed. Why am I saying that? Alright, bye guys!